Hey everyone, Dean Willett with the Real Estate Tube. We're here today with Shane Hollenback of Academy Mortgage. Say hi, Shane.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk about the Homepath loan. Shane, could you tell us a little bit about the Homepath loan, who it may be good for?
Well, the Homepath loan it's basically a Fannie Mae product. It's a variant of the regular conventional 30-year product that they have, or the regular conventional product, or a variant of their Flex product, which is a low down payment product. It's as low as 3% down. It is good for Fannie Mae REOs that they have deemed fall into the category of Homepath worthy or Homepath allowed, and they get listed on the homepath.com website. A couple of features that Homepath loan has versus maybe a regular conventional Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan or an FHA loan: owner-occupied primary residence borrowers that might be looking at FHA. FHA is 3.5% down. Homepath, you're going to be anywhere from 3% down to 5% down. If you go 3% down, it takes you into a Flex product. You'll have some pricing hits on the Flex product that you wouldn't have on the 5% standard product. But outside of that, you can talk to your loan officer in whatever area you're in. There might be things in regards to gifting and your cash to close. Another piece that makes it really attractive is that second home buyers can actually buy it. Okay, 10% down minimum down payment for a second home. And then another group of people that are actually being served by it are the investors. An investor can qualify for Homepath financing on a Homepath home with as little as 15% down. And if you compare that to some of the other standard properties, other standard financing for other properties, it's going to be 20 to 25% down, depending on who the investor is and what the overlay is. The features are there's no appraisal required. Fannie Mae says, we own this property, we're going to actually do the new loan, or we'll take the new loan on it. We don't require that. We're comfortable with what we're going to finance. We don't require an appraisal. Another kind of headline is that it doesn't have mortgage insurance. So if you're putting on an owner-occupied between 3 and 5% down, no mortgage insurance, or second home 10% down, no mortgage insurance, and investor 15% down, no mortgage insurance, all of those are less than 20%. So that gets to be attractive. The only caveat to that people don't realize is that with those features, you have what's called risk-based pricing when you're pricing out that loan for interest rates. If Fannie is going to take all of the risk, basically no appraisal, high loan-to-value or higher loan-to-value, and no mortgage insurance, the rate's going to get bumped a little bit for that to happen. Depending on who the investor is, depending on where the loan is done, you're going to be probably a half a point higher, some a little lower, some a little higher, depending on where you're at, than what you would be on a traditional loan.
Okay, recently there were some changes or reintroductions of some benefits for Homepath. Can you bring us up to date on those?
Yeah, actually, September 23rd, they just announced the new incentives for Homepath. They will give up to 3.5% seller assistance. And then a new bonus that I haven't seen yet or I haven't experienced yet that's actually good for the realtors is that they'll also give a selling agent an additional $1,500 bonus for a Homepath, for a Homepath closing. So Fannie is really, they're not in the business of owning real estate. So you can see that they're taking an aggressive approach at getting rid of this inventory that they're holding on to. They're making an attractive program for the buyer. They're giving seller assistance to the buyer, and they're actually giving a little bit more meat to the agent as well to hopefully incentivize them to sell those homes.
Well, I think as an agent, we could make the argument that they're not in the industry, they're not in the business of owning real estate, so they should be approving more short sales, not letting things go to foreclosure.
That's a different discussion, but I think I'd probably agree with you on that one.
One of the good things about this program, or one of the selling features, is the no appraisal. But here's a scenario I want to throw out to you. I have one I'm working right now. The house is worth about $165,000. It was listed at $179,000, way overpriced.
Okay.
And Fannie Mae wouldn't come down below $175,000. Now, it's good news that there's no appraisal because that means we can move forward, but the bad news is we can't introduce an appraisal to get the price fixed, and they're going to have to end up spending $10,000 more than the house is worth just to get the house.
Gotcha. Are they financing with Homepath financing?
They are financing with Homepath financing.
Which is probably the only way to do it.
Right.
Really.
And if they went without the Homepath financing, they could fight it with an appraisal and get it at market value. But because they're using Fannie Mae's program, it's like Fannie Mae is creating this market where everyone has to overpay for a house.
Yeah. See, that example, that specific example, I think is wrong. I mean, at face value. I mean, there's always two sides to each story, but that example, I think, is wrong. What my experience is, and for the greater part of the experiences that I see out there, is that Fannie's actually pricing aggressive. Okay, so that it creates more of a buzz, if you will, and more people to start bidding on the property. And what that allows, especially when you have that element of no appraisal, so that somebody can actually pay what they feel that property is worth, rather than what an independent appraiser feels that property is worth. Because remember, value and appraised value, personal value and appraised value are two totally different things. Now you've created this kind of free market on real estate, but if you're priced, which I think is a good thing, it helps stabilize the market around the area. You've got better comps, you've got stronger comps for these prices that people are paying when they bid them up and they don't have the restrictions by the lender. So that's a good thing. But when you're pricing a house already higher than market value, and you're giving the consumer no other option, where they're essentially forced, if they want to buy this house, they're forced to pay more than market value, then it's not a perceived market value versus actual market value. It's we're going to set this price, and you're going to pay it, or you're going to move on. That, I mean, I'd really like to hear, unfortunately we never will, but I'd really like to hear the other side of that story, because this example, it just seems like it's flat out wrong. Shouldn't happen.
And I will agree with you that in most cases, the Fannie Mae houses are priced right. They're priced to sell. They're not overpriced like this scenario. But this is the first time I've seen this scenario, and hopefully it's the last. But I'm looking at it as this is a way they could end up using their program to get more money and sell houses for more than market value.
It certainly raises the question, absolutely.
All right, Shane, if somebody wants to find out more information about the Homepath, how could they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me at shane@theveracityteam.com, and that Veracity is Veracity. If they want to know a little bit more about me and my company, they can go to 10dayclose.com.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you.